on the speech coaching app using Superbase, Kilo Code, Gemini. All right, maybe not Gemini CLI. We're not really using spec kit because we already have our specs laid out and everything like that. Now we need to build. Last time when we were working on it, we ran into a little bit of an issue. We were getting a login page, but we couldn't do anything with it. So we're going to be investigating, trying to figure that out. I'm going to put 20 minutes up on the clock, and then I'm going to go to see where we're at, right? So let's go.
It's time to do.
All right, so we are jumping over to this screen. This is we have our, what do you call this? We have our, where's my mouse? There we go. We have Android Studio up and running. We need to start up. Supabase. Let's do npx Supabase start, and I will bring up my Docker window as well, so you can see Supabase actually is going to get started. So it's starting the database from backup, and waiting for health checks. And looks like we're up and running. We have our API URL, we have our GraphQL, we have our S3 storage URL, we have our MCP URL, database URL, studio, mailpit, publishable key, a bunch of stuff, right? Which all this is running locally, so it's not even connecting anywhere. So this information doesn't even matter. Interesting that we have our own local S3 environment, so pretty cool. All right, we are going to jump over here, and I'm going to get started a mobile device, an emulator. And the issue that we had last time was when we got the emulator started and we started the application, we had a we had this login screen, but we had no login information. Let me see this over here. Let's close this down. Let's do it like this, and we need to see like how are we going to log into this, right? So if I also go to, so if we look at what is the admin? Oh, I think it's studio URL. So let's go here. Let me see if that loads. That doesn't load. Oh, I'm missing something. 2, 3. Okay. So let's go over here. So so this is our project. I don't think it's really connected yet though. Let's see, table editor. There's no tables. There's nothing there. Database. There's nothing created yet. So basically it's showing us a login screen over here, but there's actually nothing that is created. So let's go to what if we were to do here. I do test at test.com and we do test, right? Because I don't know if it's supposed to. Oh, you know what? Let me start the app. That would be helpful. Starting the app is always a helpful thing to do. Ooh, something failed. Cannot find this to match. Ooh, Why is that? Okay, so somehow that got deleted. So let's go ahead and run this again. But you see how you can like from a concept, because let's say we end up like, oh, this isn't gonna work, and we just totally get rid of it, right? But for such a low cost, and just got a desktop app as well. Test at test.com. Test. So okay, so no host specified in URI. Um all right, so we need to start putting this information in here. So I'm just gonna do this question. Like, all right, so how can we set up the connection to Superbase? This is we are currently running Superbase locally. Let's see what we get with that. Let me hide the device manager. Okay. All right. So, okay, we're setting up the connection to your Superbase, to your local Superbase instance involving initializing Superbase client in your Flutter app. I'll create the config.dart file to hold your Superbase credentials, and then initialize the Superbase client in your main.dart. First, I'll create the configuration file. What's the URL of your local Superbase instance? It's typically something like this. Also, what's your Superbase anon key? You can find this in your Superbase project settings. So, Superbase URL, and let's go to Superbase. It would be this, right? Come on, stop it. I'll just put it in manually over here. Somehow it didn't take. I guess that would work. Actually, oh my god, got way too many files open. Let me see if I can get back to that file. Config.dart. All right, localhost should work, right? Yeah, localhost should work. And then your anon key. Where do I find my anon key? Where would I find my anon key? That would be, all right, let me see if I go to here. Can I find my anon key in here? All right, let's see. Where do I find my Superbase anon? Can be found within Superbase dashboard for your project. Navigate to your Superbase project. Log into access API. The left hand. Um. Hmm. API docs? No. Authentication. Integration. Where would it be? Hold on. Database. Project overview. No. They said access API settings in the left-hand sidebar of your project. Dash settings, select API. All right. Go back. I don't see a application. Nope. Where is it? Where is my on? Nope. I don't see. Trying to find. All right, hold on. I don't see settings. Let me try something else. All right. So, understanding API keys. Keys for backend. All right, where the heck is the anon? Anon and publisher keys secure the public components of your application. Public components run in environments where it's impossible to secure any secrets. Where do I find it? Settings. Not here. Roles. I see anon. I don't see the key for anon. Let me see. Reset your database password. Disk management roles. I see an anon. I don't see the key though. Where do I find this anon key, for crying out loud? I can't find my Superbase anon. Next up, Gemini. Log into your database account, navigate to the dashboard, select the project, and choose a specific project for which you need API keys. Go to project settings on the left-hand menu of your project dashboard and click settings, navigate to API settings within. See that? Is it called the public? Is the anon key the same as the publishable key? No, they are not the same. For the purpose of a client-side key in services like Supabase, the publisher key is a direct replacement for the anon key. The publishable key is designed for use in publicly accessible code. I don't know. New publisher keys. All right, I'm gonna. A single publisher key with can be okay. So look at this. A single publishable. What's the change? A single publishable key. Exactly. All right, so we're gonna use the publishable key. Okay, so we have a publishable key over here, right? And we are going to go in here and say this is our anon key. Hopefully that's okay. And we will say start the app again. Start. And I don't even know if it started or not. Let me see. Stop. Start. All right, let's see what's happening with this now. Okay, that's why. All right, test.com. So let's say connection failed. I will say when I try to, let's copy this whole thing over here. When I try to log in with an account on the app, I am getting this error. However, there are no databases or tables created yet in Superbase. All right, let's paste the error. And let's see what we get from that. Uh, I, the way that they, all right, based on the error, it seems like your Flutter application is running into a mobile device or simulator can't connect to localhost. This is a common issue in mobile development because localhost on the device refers to, not on your computer. To fix this, you will need to use the IP address of your computer on your local network instead of localhost. Okay, that makes sense. Let's do this command. I can run that command. All right, so now we're gonna go here. Okay, it made the update for us. All right. I could do that myself though. But anyways, let's go ahead and run that. You should be able to. I mean, there are no tables or anything like that created yet, so I'm not sure how we're gonna be able to sign in, but we'll find out. Let's go to. Go with that. All right, connection failed. So it's going to the right address now. Let me see if we're actually able to access it through this address. I think it kind of did work. If we were to, all right, so what I'm doing over here is I'm taking the 10 dot something 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 IP address and I'm dropping it in here. Okay, so that does work. That does work. All right, so now we're gonna go back and take this code over here. So we are able to connect to that IP address. So that means that the emulator should be able to connect to our IP address. Now I'm getting this error. It is trying to connect to the address. Still being blocked even with the correct IP. The operation not permitted. Operation not permitted. issue permission, the permission issue on Android. You have to allow the app to make network requests to a local server using HTTP address. I will modify the Android manifest. Okay. And I mean, in the future, it won't have to do that. This is a common step when developing with a local non-HTTPS. First, I need to review. Okay, I reviewed your Android manifest. The debug manifest correctly includes the internet permission, but the main manifest needs to change to allow connections to your local non-HTTPS. I'll add that. I've updated the Android manifest. All right, let's go ahead and
lunch break. Lunch break.
let's try to run it real quick, and then we're gonna go to break. Let's see. Go here. Say testing at test.com. Testing. Still getting a connection failed. Says the. Let me stop it and start it, because sometimes when you just do the flash reload, it doesn't register whatever the changes are. I do think it'll be pretty cool that we can also have a Mac OS app, a mobile app for Android, for Apple. You know, testing at testing.com, test. And now we still have the same issue. Operation not permitted. Copy that. I'm gonna say I'm still getting the same issue. The operation is not permitted. All right, we are going to let it do its thing, and we're gonna go to break, and we'll see if there's any insight that we get from that.
It was all good, just a prompt to go. Lines of light made my circuits glow. Now I'm drowning in a sea of code. A bug, a glitch, and the system slowed. I reached too far. Try to debug fade, but the tokens fail, and it's too late. I'm down, down and out of tokens. The lines are cracked, the code is broken. Helpless now, the screen's unspoken. It was all good, just a prompt to go. Syntax screams like a ghost in the shell. Loops on fire, dragging me through